Sorry guys, just getting everything underway. Looks as though we're about ready to count down. Perfect. Hello, Crowtail gonna start us off. 12 years since the sub button. Oh yeah, thank you so much for the 12-year resub. Crazy. That's actually legitimately crazy. How you doing, mate? Thank you so much for the 12 freaking years. Isn't it kind of wild that you're like, I mean, yeah, in another year maybe, but like, you know, we're gonna be like starting to talk about like 200-month subs, like, like we're gonna be halfway towards 200 from 100. Like, is crazy business. Actually, crazy business. I know that's literal years away, but like, still wild. We just have to rehost here, guys. A little bit of a problem with the lobby. It happens sometimes on the Korean server. Gonna try this one again and hopefully get this started. It's wild thinking what your life was like when you first subbed, what it's like now. Yeah, actually a generation ago. I know. I mean, I have the same thing where it's like actually watching the 24/7 stream event, even watching like 2020 games, which is what's on right now on the 24/7 stream. I'm like, oh my god, like, like I see my room and I'm like, oh my god, it's like I don't live there anymore. Like that was like, it's just crazy. Like, yeah, kind of wild how long we've been doing this whole thing for. Crazy business. You know what else is crazy business, guys? In the top right-hand side, the blue Terran player is going to be Team Liquid's Cure. In the bottom left, our red Terran is going to be Percival. As we get going into game number 1 of this BO5. So kicking this off and getting this all started. How is everybody doing in the chat? Let me know what's up. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day already. Again, thank you for hopping in and hanging out with us for some games of the INus battles. Unfortunately, I didn't know what to cast today. INus battles are the Vespine Cup. The Vespine Cup started early and the lineup was not ideal. So we're going to be here. We've got Cure versus Percival, and after this we have Classic versus Clem, which should be good, but I have a pretty hefty feeling that we're going to probably see a TVT final today. But at least the TVT in the semis is first, so we can go TVT semi, TVP semi, and then maybe TVT final, I suppose. Mixu on the 5-stream streak. Holy goodness. That is some StarCraft passion right there. I don't think Mixu's ever watched this much StarCraft. Patches doing wonders for the community, huh? Unbelievable. What's up, Restless Sheep? How you doing? Hope I'm having a good day. I am having a good day. What did I die? I don't know where I've been to the shops. Well, I got woken up by someone getting a skip delivered next door, which pretty loud at 7 AM in the morning, but yeah. So, yeah. It's okay, I guess. You know, beside that part, it's been fine. It has been fine. Ready for some StarCraft 2 today. Obviously, there's TVT, TVP after, some more TV, whatever after that in the finals. And, yeah. Then tomorrow we've got the INU Super League. And then we've got Saturday off. Sunday is going to be King of the Hill OSC into the Zero Space tournament, which is going to be fun. I'm really sad. I have not been able to spend as much time with Zero Space as I wanted to. I have not been able to spend as much time. I really thought I'd be able to spend a bit more time with it and stuff with the early access, but it's just life's busy, man. Like, I'm casting StarCraft every day and so on. Like, it's tough. It's tough out here doing the things. So yeah, it's a bit busier than expected, but excited to actually get to cast some on Sunday. Hopefully I don't sound like a complete idiot while casting. We can make some reasonable comments and so on. Should be some good fun. Alright, we're going to see the setup here of the TVT. Percival and Cure both expanding. Cure expanding more slowly. Percival is already making a 3rd command center, so he is really up in the ante in terms of getting the economy up and online right now. So getting that straight up and into play for the moment. Now our Cyclone is building through. Again, a couple of Marines and the SCVs coming over for a couple moments as well, so we bring that into place. Let me just take a few moments to get a lot of this set up and rolling, figuring out exactly what our TVT will look like, especially if we're not going to see anything super aggressive early, then yeah, we probably are going to get a little bit of build-up time here as we get everything started off and all of that goodness, and so on and so on and so on. Couple of Ravens, the Marines coming through Interference Matrix as well. This really could not be more just bog standard at the moment. It really is just the exact expectation of just standard gameplay thus far. So nothing super crazy for a moment or two. Let's see where we end up. Now that Reaper hops up toward the high ground, and tonight obviously just trying to pick up some information as well. At this point in time, it's never a bad thing to get some info and to see kind of what your opponents do, what kind of units are they playing with, what sort of units are they getting there, and so on and so forth. That kind of stuff is always going to have a good bit of value attached to it. Just going to be seeing this. Full command is going to come moving across for a couple of seconds, so just going to move that over, take a couple of moments. You see the little bit of fight breaking up here. He's actually going to get across here pretty aggressively and put himself in position to try and make something happen for a few seconds then, so gets some damage out. The CC has to lift off. Percival has to pull it back. Percival has great economy, but you need to survive right now for that economy to ever really sink in. So that's kind of the current issue of this game, is the economy is there for Percival, but again, it doesn't matter if you can never then break out of this position. And once these sieges get set up, they are so difficult to break out of as well, which is kind of the problem that we're probably approaching here very quickly in these next few moments of once you get sieged up obscure. Like I say, what does Percival do about that? Probably not really very much, unfortunately. So yeah, becomes a little bit of a tough scenario to work from. Let's see if we can find some magic here as Cyclone putting a bit of pressure on. Actually stays locked onto that Raven. Oh god, that's not good for Percival. You're in a position of needing to save pretty much everything that you can, and then you're unfortunately still just losing out on units. You're still getting crashed into. This is not going quite the way that you need it to. And this game is fast approaching a resolution, as you see. Just gonna see just too much firepower from Curie. I mean, we actually try and break through his Percival. That tank has done work. The Vikings have done work. Oh, he's gonna defend. Ooh, that makes it a little bit spicy, doesn't it? Actually gonna get a defense off here. Ooh. Wow. Okay. That's, like I say, a little bit different to what I expected, plain and simple. Was not thinking that this was going to turn into much of anything, but there you have it. Vikings, the Marines continue to gather up just for the moment. Again, 1-on upgrades. That combat shield still continue to break into place at the moment as well. Continue to bring that online. You can see there's one siege tank is going to wander over from Q to the low ground. I mean, Q gets a third up behind it. Percival is building a fourth on location now, though, and still has a worker lead coming out of it. So I think Q probably did enough to get him back in a better position, but it's still going to be Percival's lead because he did defend with the good economy. He's got 1-1 upgrades that are going to finish up very shortly as well. So, I mean, that's just going to be absolutely massive, plain and simple. Well, crazy stuff as, again, the 1-1 continues to come around here the next few moments. Marines are just going to go stimming. I'm just going to find an SCV straight away. Nice little catch on that. take a couple of seconds so we calm down and figure out what exactly is going to come next in this game. Plenty of Marines coming out. Obviously, TVT can definitely, once it slows down, it can slow down a lot. And that is, I think, a little bit of what you're seeing right now. This kind of stage where we're just going to slow it down heavily. And, obviously, he said very defensively. That's not good for Cure, though. Actually losing his, what would have been his 4th base. I mean, you see, Cure's going to stim on the left-hand side. Now, I'm talking about slowing down. That only really makes sense if players actually sat defensively across their bases, but this was not a setup defensively enough on either side, quite frankly. So that has immediately opened the doorway for some of this damage to be done, and for this position to already be ended up being abused a little bit as well. It's going to become a little bit tough for sure as we continue through. It's going to be having these Marines actually going to fight in the middle of the map. Percival is going to have a whole lot more, and he is looking to make a lot of use out of that whole lot more as well, coming straight on forward. We are going to see a couple of tanks now firing back. All those tanks getting shot at. Vikings showing up. Medivacs get turned away. Vikings will continue to hit those Medivacs. We are getting a big cleanup here. We stim forward once again. We're going to actually land the Vikings too. Is that okay for Percival? He's losing a lot. Don't get me wrong, he's clearing up, but he's losing a lot of his own air control and so. Not as much as what Pura has lost, however. As Percival comes out 20 supply ahead at this current point in time. That's such a crazy hold from Percival to begin with, by the way. I can't really, I can't quite believe that he completely pulled it off in a way, actually. Actually, some crazy business going on over here. Actually, some crazy business. SDV steps over, just going to be chilling a couple moments, just going to be seeing a couple of medivacs nearby as well. Continue to gather for a few moments, and we just wait to see what exactly we're going to be doing next. These few Marines drop onto you and kill off a depot already, so going to be able to grab of that. And we're just going to be pressing forward. These Marines are Cure, trying to push on in, and actually seeing a little bit of success there as well. And have a pretty okay time dealing with some damage at least. 3-3 still building up here from Percival. So he will take a lead on the upgrades already. He has the lead on 2-2. Will obviously be taking the lead on 3-3 very soon as well. But, yeah, this is going to be a tough game for Kira at this point, because Percival has momentum going his way too, and he's got the air control, and so there's going to be opportunities and positions he can take advantage of, and that's exactly what he's trying to do right now. These tanks will get a lot of Marines as they commit in just to deny a Liberator, and that's the power of the Liberator. It forces your opponent into you. I mean, Percival's going to overwhelm him, coming in from both sides. The Marine's going to overwhelm as the tanks on the planetary. Percival takes game 1. GG. All right, push of a century there from Q that turned around. That was pretty crazy. Again, good stuff from Percival to defend on that one as we get ready for a game number 2 in just a few moments, guys. Let me just make sure the ads are rolling. All right, we're going to jump in and get ready to go. For game number 2, I'm going to keep the games going. I'll run ads over here. Yesterday's super long games destroyed my ad break timer, and there are still the repercussions of that, crazily enough. Still the repercussions of that. I want to go grab a drink quickly as well, guys, just while this game hosts up. I'll be right back. having some issues, guys. Congrats on the 50k YouTube subs. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Give me 1 second, guys. Just have to do some IRL stuff very quickly. Sorry, I'll take us in game and post on the observer. I'm just gonna have to tab out for a moment, guys. I gotta sort something quickly. Apologies. Alright, sorry guys. Just some IRL stuff. As we kick off into game number 2 here of Cure and Percival. Helen just got a letter for some car tax stuff, and I just wanted to get it sorted because I didn't know if we had to suddenly emergency book a MOT or something, but we're good. Just trying to... You know when you just try and preemptively get ahead of a possible disaster? Not really a disaster, just like get ahead of, you know, before anything possibly becomes a problem, I guess. Just a little bit of that. Alright, we are chilling our way into another game here as we get this set up and ready to start out. As we get ready to rumble. So, again, thank you so much for joining us earlier today. Good to see you guys. And obviously, second game of the day, Percival has the 1-0 lead. As we kick this off and get this ready to go. Getting some more StarCrafts. IRL stuff comes first. I mean, this is kind of my job. This is kind of IRL as well. It's just if you know, TLDR, if something is on my mind, I'm going to be very distracted doing this instead of just taking a minute to make sure it's okay. And then it's like, it's off my mind, then I'm going to take the minute to do it, you know? Some people get mad, though. People always used to get mad, like, the classic, people used to love the, oh, it's so unprofessional, like when I was having, like, you know, I'd cast like a 7-hour day and it's like I have lunch. It's like, when do you expect me to eat if we have no downtime in the StarCraft? Like, hello? People always got mad at this stuff, actually. This was a classic. This was an absolute classic. Yeah, hello guys. Hope everyone is doing well, like I say. Good to see you all and hanging out with you all. And let's see where this game continues. The clan that comes up from both players here for a couple of moments. Getting this up and online. Getting this settled into play. A couple of Reavers actually going to dive in and get some SCVs. So a few SCVs going down already. A few kills coming up right away there. Going to be a nice little catch for a few moments. As we've seen the Raven coming up, and again, no surprise to see a Matrix on its way as well. Again, that is pretty standard at this point, as we've seen. Having a push out here, looking to push back these Cyclones. Percival has not lost a lot in this game, but he's down in workers. A slower expansion for him, and not getting damaged on the other side is not a good sign. Playing simple right now, so not an ideal situation. As you can see, Command's coming through that Cyclone, the siege tank, the Liberator and the siege tank as well. So Percival going to get set up to be a little aggro here, perhaps. Third CC from Cure, so definitely on the aggressive side is Percival right now, figuring out where we go about this. Those Cyclones just gathering up. Couple tanks, Cyclone coming on through. Sorry, I'm laughing at the joke in chat. a little long to read out, but yeah, that made me laugh. What's up, Stimpug? That's not too long to read out. Thank you so much for your 5-month resub. Appreciate the support. Thank you very much. As this Lib Siege is good, and Percival is going to start making a little bit of progress then at the very least. So, starting to come over here for a little bit. Going to be seeing the army continue to push forward. That Liberator in a siege once again. This siege tank still has to hold back. You're going to see the few other units gathering around also here for a couple moments. That in position and hold out for now. We having the few Vikings obviously able to keep that air control, and that's massive with the Liberator approaching. However, now the Vikings of Percival took a lot of shots. The few Marines getting some hits off is big. He's about to get 2 more Vikings up and ready to go here, so that will help, but not quite fully ready yet. Ravens now coming through the auto turrets. The Vikings here from Percival are just about able to get rid of those Ravens, or at least one of them. The auto turrets did some work. However, we still have some tanks available. I just don't think it's going to be enough. Pull back here. One more tank goes down to Cure. It's very close in terms of what we're seeing go down. A bunch of players losing things on either side. One upgrade, combat shield coming through. That's impact coming about at the tank, at the Marine on the few Vikings coming over as well. Okay, now stabilizing though. Percival behind this has his own 3rd CC, so for all this pressure done, he might have just done enough to kind of keep himself alive and running in this one. More shots coming about, a few more hits coming through. See those Marines loading up. Just going to be pulling back for a couple of seconds. Just repositioning. Just going to be seeing the Marines. Medevacs just going to be coming on through into the center of the map here. Again, 1-1 upgrades. Combat shield continue to come around as well. You see that Liberator coming up around the back. Come around. Again, trying to see what we got going on at the moment. So again, just take a few moments. Just gonna have the Marine tank all gathering together here. Just gonna have the 1-1 upgrades, the combat shield, the Marines continuing to come through at the moment as well. Just gonna have the tanks and the Marines continue to step forward. So again, we take a few moments on this. Marine stepping forward. That tank is going to be firing already, doing some damage. Just going to get straight in. Percival is able to force his base to lift off already. So he has to pick away from this position and start pulling back straight away. Marines tanks again just gathering up. Medevac loading, just going to start coming back through again. Just going to reposition as we do have our Marines and the tanks gathering. We're now going to see Q's push now, going to get position on this right-hand side, so he's going to try to pressure his way into this spot of Percival. Shots coming about, those tanks and Marines pulling back away already. Getting out of there for a couple moments. Marines going to gather. Medevacs will be right there. A couple of tanks will continue to siege up also. You see those Vikings still gathering up. Going to come in now. The few Marines are going to be stepping through. The Marines are going to step up there as well. And do push back the other way. The tank's going to stay sieged for a little bit at the moment. Tank siege and going to cover the ramp in the center, the bridge in the center. Now Percival's going to swing around the left side. He wants to siege himself. There's obviously always the possibility of a base trade. Q probably feels good. 3 tanks already set up defensively here. Percival's going to stim in and just try and absorb the damage with the overwhelming Marine number, but I don't think he has overwhelming Marine number is the reality of this. At this point in time, it does not look good. Q just going to chase this army down as well. He's going to start getting some full pickoffs. We evacuate at least a few of the siege tanks, but it's not ideal in the grand scheme of things. Marines tanks still going to be gathering again. Take a few moments to sell. What's been lost in this game? 7 tanks lost from Q, 5 tanks only for Percival. Q now going to find himself the siege. Many orbitals already here and ready to help participate as well. Not too surprising. And through that Liberator gets shot down as well for a second or so. Just gonna have this little lib continuing over. Tanks still sieging. Marines and medevacs gather over on this other side. I'm just going to be seeing Percival. He's trying to put some counter pressure on. He's still staying up there in supply. Obviously, still has a good base count. Kira's a little bit faster to actually have his bases on location, but that's fine for now. Percival slowly creeping towards a 5th base and should be able to get one up, I would imagine, here. So let's see those Marines coming through. Tanks, Marines continue to gather. Pushing in once again. Okay, a few shots coming into position now as we have the Vikings in overhead position, and Percival trying to hold on. He is losing out overall in the supply war, but he is bringing it back a little bit with the tail end of this fight actually going a little bit in his favor. So that part goes a little better at the end for him. Marines and the rest is going to come back over and just seeing what we can do in a few moments. Seeing those Marines loading up, just going to be pulling away and getting out of there right now. About ready to be done. Just gonna have the Raven coming up as well. Just gonna make it a couple Ravens even. Obviously later in this game, high Raven count is very powerful, so we're starting to head toward that in the next, over the next little bit, it seems. And a little bit of that settled in. Marines, the tanks continue to gather together. Just gonna be seeing this Marine tank force joining up. A couple of Ravens and the tanks continue to come through as well. Big push from Q once again, sieging on this right-hand side already. As we are going to be having ourselves a chance to rush this position once more. First, a couple of Liberators there going to start going down. How's the on the left side going to get rid of that siege tank? Just going to be getting a grab on this. Again, extra Marines, a couple of siege tanks continue to come through. Just going to be seeing our Liberator sieging once again. For the moment. Still firing a couple more of those tanks, taking some damage. We are sitting strong here. And Percival is going to take a supply lead. I still like what Kira has in terms of map control. And because he's got map control, he's able to kind of take fights like this, where he can just look for opportunities with less units in position. That does mean, though, he loses out on the right-hand side. So Kira is actually going to lose some big numbers over here. So that's actually going to be very impactful as well. Now I see another couple of tanks going to siege back in this position once more. Vikings, Ravens gathering together. Those tanks still joined up. Gonna try and push through. Percival, if he breaks through this and takes map control back, he's gonna be able to kind of push across the map himself and do a lot of the good stuff. And he's knocked a lot of the tanks of Kua down. So Kua is gonna have a very weak defense. If Percival gets into position, it's gonna be hard to stop him moving through with a low tank count like the one he's gonna be working with soon here. Tanks are good. Gonna hit those Marines. This tank on the left side goes down as well. Couple of mules just going to go drop into the front there, and we do have a lot more Marines continuing to build up at the moment. Marines, tanks, still settling on the left-hand side. Couple tanks just doing their thing. Tanks still siege. Possibility to maybe hit a tank or two in the distance. More tanks coming down again. He's going to find an angle on the left side. Might get himself a base here. It's going to be at this point, an orbital here or there is nice to get, but it's obviously not going to be game-ending or anything. Just have the... Yeah, it's still gathering up. A couple tanks pulling back away, stepping out of there as well. Probably a moment or two longer. Continue to get this settled into place. Percival has a nice siege on this forward base, but that's more or less all he's got going on, I guess. It's for a moment or two. Gets rid of this CT between bases there as well. We continue to apply the pressure right now. Just going to be seeing the Marines coming over once more. Just going to be hitting this orbital. Orbital taking some damage right off the bat, and again, just going down, sniping some of the extra bases is always going to be good. We fall back into our tank production, so you sit back on the tanks, and that's obviously going to be a feel good for you as well, having the tanks there to help you out and help you along the way. Is looking for some damage himself. Only one tank in the planetary here to play a bit of defense with is probably not going to be enough. That's going to turn out to be fairly pricey. In the end, though, I mean, Percival pushes it back with his own army, right? So at least being able to push this back the other side. Marines are loading, those tanks continue to get caught, a bunch of them continuing to fall down. A lot of damage being done. Percival is losing the numbers game now, though, after all is said and done here, unfortunately. Tanks. They get jumped on. I mean, Percival doing everything he can to, again, pull the numbers back. It's amazing the swings in this game. We go one way, we go the other. It's been back and forth. And, I mean, right now, Percival has more army supply. Q has significantly more workers. If Percival can use his current army in an effective way, it's going to be very tough to break through still. Vikings, Ravens gather. Just going to have the tank still sieging. Tank siege. Just going to push those other Marines and tanks backward here. The Marines taking damage once again. Going to drop a matrix into place. Marines get cleaned up. Percival still trying to play the defense. I mean, obviously, again, has a lot more army supply, but if you can't get across the map and use it like you can't right now, it feels like having the army supply advantage is very whatever kind of scenario. Feels like it could be much better. Just going to see the Marines coming back around. The tanks will settle once more. Can get the matrices off on a couple of those tanks immediately, so we'll catch over there right away, and the Marines continue to come about. Marines go back and forward, just going to be seeing the rest is coming around. Shots going through, the Matrix goes down onto the siege tank also. And tanks just holding their own for a moment or two. Raven is about to finish. The Marines and the tanks continue to come about. Just going to be seeing the Marines continue to stim on forward. Jumping in toward this position. Not quite going to be able to sustain. A few Marines coming back the other way once more now, though. Just coming straight in once again. Tank. Going to come straight into that position again as well. At this point, Percival is once again pushing back up this right-hand side. And let's see the plunging fortress, taking a couple shots from those siege tanks as well here. More hits. Still going, denying a base is a big deal. I mean, it's not like Kyo's really mind from this one. It's one I imagine he'll get back up and probably fight for a couple times in this game if he continues to move through. If this game doesn't end soon, which, to be fair, right now it doesn't seem as though it will. What's the resource lost at, by the way? You can see Kyo's inefficiency, 47 to 37k. Difference is obviously a big factor. And that is truly because of the fact that we've obviously been seeing the, Kyo just running at Percival and kind of running into a higher unit count of Percival, but obviously Kyo's had that better economy throughout, so it has been a pretty, it's been a very dynamic game where each player has had their advantage and each has had to work with that advantage, and as such, we've been just doing everything that we can over the course of this to keep ourselves upright and going in the game. It's a state of progress right now. State of progress. We are going to be seeing the tank siege. The Marines actually going to get a bit of a catch here. Anti-armor missile goes down in a bunch of units. Matrix is on the tanks. Going to be beautiful as well. Is that enough for Percival to win this fight here and to knock the supply of Kyo back once more? It looks as though it will be. Air control for Percival is such a big deal. When you already have the larger army, you then have the better army as well. Like, this is just such a fantastic position to be in. Vex tanks, Marines all joined together. Take a few moments. Just gonna have our army coming back along. Just gonna see if the Marines gonna be here. Tank sieging already. Percival continuing to push up. Berets are sieging, still pushing forward again. The first siege tank is already going to start dying. Interference matrices come down also. Bottom left side we're fighting as well. Kyo trying to push in. Again, it's so awkward for Kyo because fighting multiple places when you have less army supply overall in the game has got to be, well, tough for you. And I mean, it is tough for you, plain and simple. And that's the issue, is that Percival just has a little bit extra to fight with in each position. And Kyo, he's making some progress, but still don't know if it's enough progress overall. See, denying bases of Kyo when he needs to keep money more than you is going to keep putting you in a good spot as well, so I'm trying to make that as potent as possible as well here. Those Marines continue to come back around. Just going to be seeing a couple units setting up around this. Is this the finals? Nope, this is semi-final 1. We've got Clem versus Classic coming up after this. And semi-final 2. Well, shots going out. Those Vikings taking some damage once again. Hits coming about. Seeing this army still, the Vikings and company continue to gather up. We are going to push in. Interference Matrix dropping down. Marines are going to try and stem through. Percival is going to break into this bottom left side and get a bunch of units while doing it. He's going to, unsieges the tanks. I could have killed a ton of the SCVs that were escaping to the top. It's a little unfortunate. He could have, he's going to kill most of them anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter. He just could have maybe had a couple extras. So maybe not too big of a deal at the end of the day. Some tanks Continue to move over. One couple seconds here. I'm just going to have our position now of Cure establishing on the right-hand side. Going to get in position and start to deny over here. Planetary Fortress is, I was going to say, maybe surviving. We just didn't quite have enough repair on it to make it reasonable enough, unfortunately. -7 SCVs for Percival. He's only has 37 workers, but now he's up almost 50 army supply. After those medevacs continue to come back over again, the tanks, the marine continue to join up together. These marines are going to get straight in for this mineral line as well. Start to put some work in. And 17 SCVs, 20 workers left in Percival, so it really is not a lot. A lot of the old marines still coming through. The SCV still getting chased a couple seconds. Fifteen marines from Q are now building at once. Percival doesn't have anything in the production tab. Which, I mean, I guess makes sense. He doesn't have a lot of money left over. Doesn't have a lot of income. But again, he's got an extremely powerful army to be working with right now. And that's exactly what he'll try and push. And that's going to be where the issue is. Stepping in right now. Guys, I'll just preemptively say we are gonna have ads in 3 minutes. I can't stop them. Again, just lots of long games the last 2 days, so if you want to avoid the ads, consider subbing up. Marines are going to push in and try to break through this position. The Liberator is going to be massive against these tanks. Every tank that goes down right now from here is still pricey. Yes, he's the player with more economy, but losing tanks loses control of what you can do. And what is happening for Kua is he actually doesn't have that much more economy. He's got a lot of workers, but he doesn't actually have that much more income because he has nowhere to mine from. Look at all these AFK SCVs. The income is actually dead even. So Cure is now mining as much as Percival. The SCVs truly are dead weight. This is continuing to be a bit tough. Just going to be seeing the Marines, the tanks still moving over. Okay, Cure's going to say GG. He realizes he doesn't have the income to beat this army anymore. Percival's actually going to take it down. Is going to go up 2-0 in this best of 5. How about that for a showing from Percival? What a banger at TVT. Understood what he had to do. And Cure clearly understood what he had to do as well. Otherwise, you know, he wouldn't leave the game here. He just recognizes, like, man, his army's just way better than mine. Crazy business. Oop. Just declined my invite. Oh god, I'm causing trouble. Causing trouble in other people's tournaments, declining lobby invites. Unbelievable. Who does this caster think he is? WardiTV, that's who. Decline what I want. Alright, we got Kieran Percival coming up for Game 3. Percival with a 2-0 lead, looking to fight into the finals. Let's see if he can make it. That was it's a very cool series. Very cool series. Well, not series, but game. It has been a very cool series, though, and it is still ongoing. So get to Game 3 here. Up to an O in the bottom left. Our red Terran player is Percival. In the top right, our blue Terran player is going to be Cure. CC is just cracking out some SCVs early as we do wait for the initial build orders, figure out what it is that we're gonna get on the way here. Drop the command center into the natural right away. Just gonna start off with that, get that on the way for the moment, bring that through. Reverse sweep. Not impossible. I mean, Q is good. To be fair, Pure and Percival, Pure and Percival usually trade matches and series and games a lot, so it wouldn't be super crazy for like Q to win a few in a row. But I do think it's fair to say that Percival's been playing very well, and Q has definitely had some really good positions that he's just straight up not taken advantage of, unfortunately. Factory coming in. Reaper building. Couple orbals coming up, so it is that CC super early here from Percival. Bit of greed. He's up 2-0 as well, so you can kind of take the risk of it. I'm going to start off in a very, very comfortable spot here. Reaper does come around, heads into the main base, looks for an SCV, bops the Marine back, which is great. Obviously, as Percival, you can take some damage because you are playing so greedily otherwise. Q going for multiple Reapers and Hellions before his CC is obviously very good for him as well, because it means that he can actually apply a lot of pressure. The only downside being is that this orbital is finished, so it's not like you can delay the SCVs in the low ground too much. You can kind of sit here, though, I guess, and just stop SCVs from building. See the Reapers, the Hellion continue to come around for a couple of moments, just bringing this straight through. We have a couple of units coming down the low ground, so we killed a couple of SCVs in the end. Q actually going to be on a worker lead. This command is still not done, and obviously Percival will have had an extra mule or two out of this overall. Not done yet though. Another SCV will go down. A couple more Marines popping, but we're just not all fully set yet. Gonna come up this ramp. Is Percival just dead? I think Percival might be. Okay, he's not dead. He's not in a great spot as we try and fight. Can this Hellion stay alive? No. Tries to get as much damage as possible. Okay. Percival is going to survive through. I did think he was in a bit of trouble, honestly, but turns out we're alright. For the moment, at least. Couple SCVs, the Cyclone, the Marines coming up at the moment. And Interference Matrix coming up on both sides, bringing that straight through at the moment. So we have the Raven, Interference Matrix, the Stim Pack all coming online as well. Continue to bring this over for now. A little bit of a Raven War in the main base. Or turn an auto, but whack a Cyclone on that, and it's going to go well for you. It's going to be successful inside of Percival, good defense. Killing off a Raven is never going to be a bad thing. Very powerful, very potent. Back still coming through. Again, the tank and a couple of Vikings will come along with us here for now. And tank and a few Marines coming about also as we speak. Do you need to get that on the way for a moment or so. Kind of wondering what the overall setup will look like here for Cure. Obviously, the last game was kind of a unique one. You can't really kind of force that same situation to come about very often, so definitely interesting as we settle ourselves down, just having the 1-1 upgrades and the combat shields coming up as well. Cyclone is going to get blasted though. Percival trying to get some map control and just try and poke, but does not go well for him. Loses out, unfortunately, there. Stim will finish very shortly from Cure. Combat shield is already on the way for Percival. Obviously a bit of a biocentric opener, a bit of a greedy opener. And that's a lot of benefits that you're going to get here. As the, as Percival, essentially. On upgrades, combat shield, all that coming about. Just gonna see the 1-1. Continue to come through as well. So again, getting that set up already. Cyclone's gonna step over. Just gonna be seeing the sense tower going down. A little bit back and forth, and a few more SCVs continue to drop. Jumping up into this fight. Tank fire good from Percival onto those Marines. Cure down the 1-1 upgrades as well. And right now down the combat shields. His Marines are just significantly less effective from the very get-go here. Gonna make this rough. And T2 coming about, the armor coming online, combat shield as well. Just going to see the scan coming out to keep a track of this. A few tanks nearby for a few moments. Percival up 20 supply as the third of Cure up in the skies. Supply lead, worker lead. Army counts are even, but obviously he has the position on the map. He's already building his. He's building his fourth on location. Cure's actually going to have a fourth a bit sooner, but not on location. Obviously taking it maybe tough, although the Liberator for now is probably going to be decent. Marines coming about just at the moment as well. So Marines gather up, just going to be seeing the medevac overhead. Marines just there, medevac's doing some healing. Pull back. The Marines is going to be there again. The Marines going back the other way for a couple of seconds. Well, Percival maintains the supply lead at the moment. TVT. If Kira can set up defensively and hold back for a bit, obviously you will get maxed out. You will get opportunities, typically speaking, in these scenarios still. That is what TVT is good for. Just needs to make sure his defense is in sync. Marines the tank coming over. He's going to be firing, put some damage in. And 3-3 upgrades continue to come about here just for a couple of seconds. And since it will be finishing up soon, the Marines are going to come stemming forward again, trying to see what else we can find. Yeah, one more Marine off to the side again. Kira now maxed out. Let's see what happens. First of all, just have the map control. Can Kira find enough of a defense here? He's air controlled because it's a little bit better for Q on these in the skies, which is usually very powerful. On both sides going to be pretty even, so the upgrades at least are going to be similar. Cure with a few more units here as we push back down the left-hand side again. And yeah, those rocks, they do knock down blue patches, so it makes it a 9-mineral patch base to a 6-one with gold. Generally, you want to do it. It's extremely powerful, obviously, if you can keep that from happening, basically. Vikings, Marines, tanks continue to come around a couple of moments. And see the Liberators are going to get sieged as well. Marines is going to gather up. We'll have sensor towers galore. So you see the tank firing. There's going to be a couple of tanks going to be shooting. The damage being dealt. Marines coming from the other side. Cure gets some work, loses some units. A little bit of back and forth realistically right there. You go back and forth, scanning out on either side. Both players going to sit here. Planetary Fortress is going to go down, so Percival's position is going to be strong. Breaking over to that right-hand side already. More investment into the skies as we see Neil Steel plating coming up as well. High-sec auto tracking. The Vikings and Liberals continue to come around. Just going to have the other Vikings coming through. A couple shots going off already. A few hits coming straight in. A couple of Liberators sieging up also here. Just going to be having that Raven getting shot down as well. Chip weapons about halfway. We are going to drop the auto turret down. Tank getting caught. And you're going to see a lot of these little trades here and there. Marines is going to come around. Just going to see the Vikings firing once more. So he's going to poise with the interference mages to help get up the ramp. And he's going to break through the one tank. Does he have many more? Don't know yet. I'm just going to be seeing the Vikings are going to shoot. A couple of those Vikings take damage. He's going to be having the force gathering. Kind of winning out on the south side of this tank siege that we have up on top. And Planetary Fortress coming through, a couple more command centers coming up into place as well, still currently. Breaking through, that Planetary Fortress coming up as well. A little bit more being done. Actually have the anti-armor missiles all across this, so both players having the issue on that one. Just having their units taking a whole bunch more damage per hit. We do have that Planetary Fortress already going down. And Percival again is the one to be making progress, it feels like, at the moment. Medic's dropping straight into place for now. Just going to be seeing the Vikings and actually wouldn't overrun as Cure gets a lot of air control in this fight. So that's definitely going to be a nice boon at the moment. We do have this army still looking around. Percival pulls back down into the center. Another couple shots coming about again. So you see our tanks and our Marines gather up. Those Ravens going to be nearby as well. Ravens, Vikings all gathering up. Just going to see the missile turrets coming down. Just going to see this army still stepping through. And there's going to be Percival. A bit more on the defensive now as Keo puts himself between the bases and actually gets a bit of a shove himself. He needs to continue to look back and forth at one another here. Need to fight and push on in for a couple seconds. Marines and company coming about. Just going to see the rest of this going into place. Vikings going to start firing up once again. Ravens, Vikings all joining up together. Just going to see a couple more tanks getting sieged already. Getting that through. The Marines going to hit the CC, force it into the sky. Cure in that bottom right side succeeding. Percival with a big push up to the top with all of these Ravens leading the charge. Missile turrets, found a sense tower. Denies this base. This is a base that actually Percival has pretty well set up, pretty well established, and Cure is kind of poking towards it, but not really going to see much success, especially not if those Ravens have anything to say about it, it feels like. This is going to hit, the Ravens pull back, Vikings and Medivacs pulling away a few moments as well. And drop those Matrixes straight down, Siege Tank getting struck already. So that's where to put some damage out also. Big sieges on either side. What's up, BBB dude? Thank you so much for the prime. Coming in for 61 months. Appreciate it big time. Thank you so very much indeed. Just get rid of 15 SCVs recently. Funny that they're both going into like the corners of their kind of what I would say is almost their opponents. I guess at some point you have to kind of get combined with everyone else. Ravens, Vikings continue to come about. Just going to resettle. As we do have the missile turrets coming in. Interference Matrix is going to go straight down onto these siege tanks as well. Marines going through, the Vikings and the Ravens sitting overhead. Interference comes down, Siege Tank getting caught, the rest of this army coming back over again. A lot of control in the skies on both sides, but it's definitely stronger on the side of Percival than it is for Cure, so keeping that in mind as this fight comes in. We've got all those Vikings on the ground. They're not the most effective on the ground. It's nice that you can put them on the ground, obviously, but you know, it's not where they're best used overall. So Percival also just has a ton of money, by the way. Talk about being able to... It's the resource loss side. Only 4k difference, just Percival's mined that much more, apparently. It's actually kind of crazy. More shots. Matrix going down, hitting a little bit here. The counter-arm missiles. I think Percival should just win this fight. He has got so much more in the skies. If he has Ravens left over at the end, you can obviously drop auto turrets. However, if you don't, okay, you do have the Marines to deal with on the ground. I don't think Percival has any tanks left. Do you have any tanks left at all? He's got 7. So if he gets a couple tanks in position, then these Marines can't do much else, and this should just be all done. Planter in that bottom side is going to be taking some damage. The siege has lasted a very long time. Here he's trying to rebuild some air control with the Vikings of his own coming back up. He's building from 0 Vikings, though, against 31 and 8 Ravens. I think at this point, Cure would be better off just being big on the Marines, actually. And just, like, ignoring Vikings and just go as heavy on the bio as possible and just hope that you force these Vikings to land and just go from there. Like, it's not an ideal situation, but the amount you're behind in the air control is pretty damning at the moment, to say the least. It is not ideal at all. Not ideal. I mean, now we have Percival going to deny this base down here. Here does not have a lot of money in the bank like Percival does as well. So again, that is a major issue. It's going to be very apparent very soon, I imagine. The tanks, the Ravens will gather up. Just going to see a couple of shots coming out onto that planetary fortress at the moment here. Let's try and push up. Just going to be seeing a couple of these tanks again. I mean, don't get me wrong, Q's getting into some good positions. It's just those good positions are not necessarily doing enough overall. Like, you know, this position was nice, but we don't kill the base before you actually get denied, as the Vikings land and take control of the position as well. Percival with 11,000 minerals banked. So that's a healthy amount of gas too, I think, most notably. It's actually a big part of the success story right now. Percival back on the offensive. I mean, Q's got nothing in the bank anymore, man. There is nothing left in the bank. Missile turret there. Vikings take some damage. A couple Ravens and still coming up as well. And so there's tank sieging. A couple Marines taking shots. Binary. A few hits also. Auto turrets coming down. The Marines going to stim it up. In we go. Auto turrets keep on dropping into place. Those Marines still heading forward. Again, a bunch of auto turrets down once again. These Marines are still trying to come through too. Yeah, I mean, what do you do at this point? Because if Q loses anything right now, he's rebuilding Marines and not much else. And you can just see there how obliterated Marines get in tank fire. And again, we win this position. I mean, this is big for Q because you're stopping Percival mining this base, and your base bottom right is mining, which is pretty much essential to you having some resources at this stage. 15 more Marines in production. It's just so Marine heavy. Medics goes down. Hit a siege tank in the front. Another couple of tanks push forward. Matrix again. Tank gets hit. The Marines stim through. Just going to be seeing the Marines pushing in. Just going to get a couple of the tanks here. The missile turrets going down. Just going to be able to grab the siege tank as well. Still pushing up. Vikings, Ravens, tanks continue to join together here. Actually have a plunging force on the left side from Percival going down. The thing is even if Percival doesn't have bases right now, it's going to take so much time. It's going to take so much time for the bank account of his to be drained still. He's also got more army. Like, he's got less workers, which is fine because he can get so much done from here. Tanks, I mean, this is a drain as well. Having to constantly repair this planetary fortress is just resources that Q does not exactly have a whole lot of. Here are the 8 Ravens at least right now. Missile turrets trying to set up. I'm just going to be seeing a couple matrixes dropping in. The Marines trying to stem through. Another couple tanks getting sieged already. And tanks are still coming across right there. Just going to be hitting up a little further. Going to have our other units coming around as well. More shots coming in. Missile turret to try and help zone out. But again, I'm not exactly super hopeful that that's going to be doing everything we needed to right now. Just going to be seeing these Marines still pushing forward. The anti-arm missile coming on into place as well. And Kua does have a supply lead, but still a lot of army supply in favor of Percival. Again, supply lead is mostly just a worker advantage. Kua lost repair on this bottom right. I wonder if he ran out of gas so it stopped repairing, or maybe it just stopped taking... can't imagine it stopped taking damage. Lose the base, and some SCVs now going to linger around. Not going to have a good time, unfortunately. It's going to make this a little tough. There's still 10 Ravens available for Kua, so that's still a big deal. Push through on medevac going down. Good matrixes, and Percival just going to give up the position. 30 army supply lead. Can he get in a position to use this? Ravens continue back around. He's going to hit this Matrix here onto the siege tank. Scans coming into place. Medevac still producing through. Yeah, looking at that base up there, it is a base that has obviously a lot of positioning left to be utilized on it, so... I mean, Q's doing a good job of mining the bottom right for a long time. I wonder if anyone's actually going to get a good bit of mining off of that upper left. Like I say, I think that one's going to be a little tough. Marines actually going to push through. Q getting rid of some of the Vikings and Ravens, always efficient. Army stays collecting, just going to have 3 upgrades, plus 3 ship weapons, plus 3 vehicle weapons on the way as well from Q. Finally going to catch up on air upgrades, which is something he has been missing as well. And another 30-minute game here as we are going to fight through. A couple tanks end up getting Matrix. A big push forward from Q. He's losing a lot of supply though. Again, these Marines, they do not last forever, unfortunately. Dive in this bottom right side, the base that was Q's. He's going to take away from Percival at the very least. Vikings and Ravens still gather through. The other couple units are going to be gathering up. Going to get a couple shots off. Ravens going down. Those catches, the Vikings and the Ravens have to pull back already. A few Marines just going to keep stimming forward here, looking for orbitals. Q is really on the drips and drabs of an economy. He is trying to mine this bottom right again. Again, he could mine the far left. I mean, if Percival just mines the far left, that's fine too. Percival's issue is he struggles to fight against the Marines super easily. He's going to drop some auto turrets in here, but he needs his tanks. He's a little bit stationary on his defense at times. I mean, does Q have many Ravens left too? This is going to be brutal. Only having 2 Ravens is rough. We drop the anti-armor missile and the Matrixes. Tanks go down. Q's supply is not looking good. Percival gets in the bottom right as well. Kira is desperate for this economy to stay alive at this point in time. GG's Percival. 3-0 over Q. Percival going to go to the finals today with some really dominant TVT. I think even in these long games, he was in very good positions for a lot of the time. Don't get me wrong, I mean, they were obviously very different positions, I think is fair to say as well, but I guess we'll see what happens and see if Percival can go all the way. As up next we have Clem and Classic coming up together, guys, so I'll be heading into that very soon. I'll hop to the NA server, get some videos going, and I presume we'll get going into that very, very shortly. Alright, yeah, we'll get Clem and Classic ready to go, guys. Might be a couple of minutes. I'm going to run some ads because those long games are killing our ad timers, guys, so apologies. I know some of them went off during the game, and so it just cannot be helped. Again, good to see you all in the chat today. Man, the viewership is nuts again. What is up, YouTube, guys? Like, if you're on YouTube watching right now, have you just started watching more StarCraft recently? Have you just found this stream more recently? I'm genuinely curious. The viewership is like absolutely booming on YouTube, like every single day. It's actually wild. Like YouTube used to be like 200 to 300 views, and every day now it's like bam, 400, 500. The jump is just nuts. Jump is nuts. Actually wild. Good to see you all again. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Watching some StarCraft. So this is WardiTV, casting the INus battles today. But if you're enjoying the cast and want to support, obviously a bunch of things you can do. You can like and subscribe, and Fortune can no longer offer you being one of the first 50,000 YouTube subscribers. That's done. We made it. I guess I should get rid of this goal below me. This has been on the screen for a long time now, and it is not really necessary anymore. So, yeah. I guess I should get rid of that. That's crazy. I was looking at it, by the way, so I like looking at stats and stuff. I was looking at how long it took us to go from 40k to 50k YouTube subs. You guys ready for this? It took us, and drumroll please, 3.5 years. Oh my god, 3.5 years to go from 40k to 50k. So I think fair to say that it might be a hot second or two until we get to go all the way to 60k, or maybe even think about pushing towards the long goal of 100. Do you guys think we'll ever stream long enough to get 100k YouTube subs? I wonder. I would like to. I don't know, 15 more years? Bring it on. Surely. Surely. Watching on YouTube because it's better on mobile. Find my love back to SC2 and YouTube recommends streams more to my front page. Okay. That is all fair enough. No ads on YouTube? I mean, sure. I find that surprising because there are ads on YouTube. I guess easier to ad block. I'm just surprised. It just feels like the viewership just bumped up a lot, right? Is all. What is this music? It's all the music is in-game music that now exists since the recent patch. So anything you hear on stream is just in-game music. So it is available in-game. It should play if you play enough games. We like good StarCraft matching. I'm just interested by, like I say, that the numbers jumped. Like, it's a very visible jump. We went from like 200 to 300 to like 400 to 500. That's a pretty significant jump on the YouTube, you know? 100k incoming, don't stop believing. Hell yeah. We're gonna be 40, 45, 50-year-old 100k YouTube sub party. Let's go. A sub for every 5k YouTube subs. Merhem with the 10 gifted. If that doesn't motivate you guys to sub up on YouTube and get us even more money, I don't know what will. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Appreciate it. Going out to Lucas01, Gus Saw, Xnan, Eric Bar, DM Moore, YJH, Andy Pro 12, Sociopath, DTG Haller, and PA8125. Thank you so much for the generosity as always, mate. I always appreciate your support. Thank you for gifting out a bunch of subs. And that actually pushed us back above 500 subs, which has been a battle what we've been having on Twitch. So if you are on Twitch and you've got a Prime available, consider using it. It helps out so much, guys. I mean, again, I don't say these things for fun. The Primes help us to run StarCraft. They help me to keep paying the bills so I can cast more StarCraft for you guys as well. It all helps. It all does a lot. We appreciate it greatly if you can support. So thank you so much if you do. Well, maybe we just need the YouTube algorithm to focus its gaze on the channel. Yeah, that has happened before, but like, you know, the YouTube, the highest we ever went up was like 2020, and we got like 10k subs in like 8 months, right? But that was like 2020. That was like peak, not just peak YouTube. That was like peak my career, you know? That was the peak career for me, because it's like, that was like peak COVID. Everyone was at home watching StarCraft. Our Twitch viewership was through the roof. Like, that's never happening again, you know? So, yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe with enough time we'll make the... I'm just going to nip BRB 1 second once they host up this first game, guys. Shouldn't take us too long. Just give me a moment as soon as we get in game. something triggered the algo. Yeah, just people, just the algorithm's just like, hey, we watch Wardy on YouTube right now. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. Algorithm's powerful, man. I wonder if it's just because we had those few events that we did on YouTube, like Maestros and Doyu Cup, and they obviously were like unique on YouTube, and like not a lot of the other people casting did it on YouTube. So it's like, I wonder if that just buffed us, and since then we've just kind of carried on the buff. I mean, I had a bunch of downtime on Star. Like, I took like almost 2 weeks off streaming since then as well. Like, I'm surprised it still has the power to it, you know? Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Just waiting for some maps to be picked here. Guys, what's up, Ice Bear North? How are you doing? Thank you so much for the 17-month resub as well. There's some career to go. I mean, I've said this many a time, guys, but if Warcraft 3 and Brood War still have a professional scene in casting, like, I think StarCraft 2 will still have a professional scene in casting as well. Like, it might adjust, it might dip down a bit and stuff, but like I'm not going anywhere. We love StarCraft. So, we ain't going anywhere, you know? So, yeah, I've always said that I think I'm in the best position. If anyone's in a position to keep on doing StarCraft stuff, I feel like I am one of the people to do that, right? Because I don't rely on others' events and stuff. Like, I run my own events. And obviously I rely on players and you guys supporting stuff as well, but like, realistically, if there's any sort of StarCraft, then we're probably a part of it, I think, a lot of the time. Alright, a couple of map picks to go, guys. We're having some confusion about who is picking what, which is slowing us down a second. All right, map order is done. I'm just going to be, like I said, 20 seconds or so, guys, as soon as we get an invite into the game. Am I casting the Zero Space tournament on Sunday? Yes, I am. I am indeed. I'm so sad I've not been able to play a bunch of Zero Space yet. It's hard to find time to play games, you know? And you know what the issue is I actually think, like, a lot of the time it's, like, much easier for me to sit down and talk about games. Yeah, I should have ran my own Zero Space tournament before now, I think. To prep a little bit for Sunday, because I feel kind of bad I've not prepped as much. Alright, I'll be 1 second, guys, just while they get this hosted. Be right back. Alrighty, guys, Clem has to turn his webcam on. Just waiting for him to do that. And we can kick this off. Boom, 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 boom. SCT needs horny League of Legends skins to pop off. Trust me, I know about that with Riftbound. People go crazy for a waifu skin, man. It's nuts. We are readying up in a few moments. Get this on the way. Rorschach, Lockdown, at Eternity Zeds, Old, Sun Temple, and Blackrock. Do we have to cheer against Clem here? Do we get a TVP final, or do you guys want to see Clem TVT against Percival? You know, it was so nice on the old patch because we didn't have this issue because Clem would just play Protoss if he won. It was going to be TVP no matter what, but now it's going to be TVT if Clem wins. Unbelievable business. All right. We are setting up in the bottom left-hand corner with the red Terran player in this best of 5. It is going to be Clem. Team Liquid, of course, as you get this one up and running. In the bottom right-hand corner, Rorschach to start off the second semi-final of the INus battles today. This is a classic. Okay, similar coming through, racks and the gas coming up. We take a few moments to settle ourselves down here to get this opening map set. Classic has not had a lot of success since the new patch. He's been struggling. He's lost a Nikarak 2-0 the other day in the Monday. Was it the Monday Cup? I think so. He's just not having... It's not clicking for him. Which is, you know, probably true for a lot of Protoss players on this patch right now. It's not really clicking for them because... It's just tough. But yeah, Classic has definitely been a player who's definitely felt as though the drop-off has been there. You know, when you expect Classic to be able to challenge anybody, right now Classic is, to me, much more the, oh, can he take a map? Which is kind of ridiculous because, like I say, Classic is typically really, really good, but he's just not been the same since the patch. So, yeah, excited to see if he can bring something today against Clem. I think it's going to be a struggle, if I'm going to be honest, but we will see. Maybe we can find some magic. Let's just have our barracks and so coming up. Take a couple of moments here. I'm probably coming back home off these early stages. You want to see Clem PVT Percival? I want to see Clem PVT again, just to see what, you know, how he approaches the patch, but it does seem like for now at least the PVT days of Clem are mostly over. Coming around, I'm going to hit this Reaper. I'm just going to push back for a couple of seconds, put some damage back the other way. As Reaper comes up, I was heading over that side. Stalker is going to put some damage out. When the loads, it's going to be seen. The Reaper takes a second to heal in the healing shrine. Obviously, Reaper's regen over time anyway, but take a few more moments if it wanted to. And heal up a little bit faster. Stalker in the healing shrine. There's a Reaper in the healing shrine. Is that an endless battle? I'm not sure. We actually have a Widowmine that killed the Stalker in the main base. Meanwhile, as apparently the Reaper wins this fight. No. The Stalker just wasn't stood in properly. Okay. Does the Stalker eventually kill the Reaper? No, it gets to full HP every now and again. Okay. Wondermine actually gets a Stalker here as well. The Wondermine's already doing quite a bit early, actually. Seeing some success. Now that Medevac coming through, just going to be seeing the blink is continuing up as well. He's going to have the Fiends just pushing to the front from Clem. He's already killed a lot this game. 3 Stalkers is a very sizable number right now. And honestly, Classic finishes Blink at least, but... And he gets the Prism. He's just dead, though. He has like 4 Stalkers. Nothing in production, by the way, as well right now. Like his 2 gateways are just empty. That's just not going to be okay for actually seeing success in this scenario. Gets rid of a tank, costs you the Prism. GG. We're out of here. We are out of here. Alright. Clem taking the first game of the series. I mean, Classic's struggling and Clem is just bopping people. don't know what else to tell you guys. Clem's just been bopping people lately. Ay, ay, ay. Jumping into game 2 in a few moments. Counting down. Get this started. And again, number 2. In the top right-hand side, it's going to be our red Terran player, repping Team Liquid, and with a 1-0 lead, this is Clem. In the bottom left, our blue Protoss is Classic. Oh, game 2. And we will see the racks coming down. Not CZ first or anything from Clem at least. Let's see how racks building here on lockdown. Clem with the 1-0 lead here in the semifinals. Classic did get it done against Beyond in the quarterfinals to make it a non-TVTVT round of 4. But even that was a struggle for him. That was not an easily found success story. You know, when playing with fast triple gateway, it's hard to stop 2 base pushes. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I think there's very little leeway in these builds at the moment for Protoss players. It's tough. I think it's honestly, it's kind of a boring answer, but it is kind of just tough. Like 2 base pushes of Terrans. The problem is the pushes of Terrans got faster, right? Because of the speed of the command center and the speed at which that economy comes online. So when this first patch first dropped, and so Protoss players were feeling pretty good about it. But the Protoss were, but then the Terran command center became cheaper, and I think one of the things that really is noticeable for is when you're hitting like an aggressive timing, like a lot of the Terrans do off the 2 bases. Because yeah, it's it's just gonna hit hard, and it's gonna hit fast, and a difference of like, you know, you say a difference of like 10 seconds or something. They say that's a big deal. It's like an entire round of production for Protoss now. You know, that could double your Stalker count at some of these points. I think they're just going to be shooting for a couple of moments. The Reaper is going to get the second probe going down, so this is going to be bad as well. Never proxy Stargate at the top side, but no defense apparently at home. The Adept goes into the other side, trying to do some damage. 3 workers already going down. PVZ's cooked. Yeah, I mean PV, but PVT's kind of cooked as well, no? Like, do you not think? PVT feels rotten right now. Terran 2 bases are maybe stronger than they've been in a long time. Terran late game is still amazing. Terran mid game is better than before because they can just turtle on cheaper command centers. Like, they can avoid the mid game so much more easily. I don't know. Personally, I think Protoss is just cooked in general. I think it needs a complete rebalancing. Seems pretty screwed. So Oracle gets in. Few SCVs go down. Marines will hit that Oracle. Oracle coming back. A few SCVs have fallen. Again, Twilight Council, Warp Gate continuing to build. With that hand coming in, trying to do their thing, jumping on toward the probe a couple of moments. We're up over there, just going to have ourselves a little bit of fighting back. A little bit of pressure on either side. Let's go to Adepts, and the Stalker just going to be there to push the Cyclone back as well. Just going to chase that away for a couple moments. And with this very aptly at the moment, honestly. Actually doing a good job of just holding this off, and I'd say doing a very good job of just dealing with this. As we are going to see the Viking now going to get the Oracle damage out, and both these Oracles die. It feels pretty terrible, plain and simple. Ain't a lot of beating around the bush to be done there, man. Like, sometimes it just doesn't look good. And that is one of the times where it just did not look good. Oof. Oh, you have a few Marines in the medevac coming about. Just going to see the Nexus and the Stalkers coming up as well. Stalker's going to go back the other way. Just going to have a Stimpak combat shield and +1. Continue to come around. And again, Stalker's going to blink in. Siege tank is going to go down. The Cyclone as well. Clem loses a couple units. He's at least killing some Stalkers in return. Having that one Marauder in the back definitely helping. Put a bit more of a chunk of damage out here and there. Stim combat and +1 all still building through. Marine Marauder medevac coming also online. Marines, Marauders keep on producing. Just going to be seeing a few gates going to go on the left-hand side. Probes coming up. The Marine's going to drop into this main base in a few moments. We have a few units of Classic out the front. Clem pushing down onto those Stalkers. They mostly just blink away. We're going to force the recall as well if there's drop. It doesn't do much. He's just happy to force the recall because A, that wins him map control back, and B, it puts recall on cooldown for the future. So it actually is very tough to kind of step forward and move through and to try and do other things now. Stalkers taking damage. One wouldn't mind. Fell. Bio going to get up to the high ground here. Gateway already taking some damage. Pull back a little bit. The few Stalkers still trying to kill on through. We stem back into this as L goes down. The Sentry and the Stalker still taking heavy damage. Now I'm going to see Clem just has enough right now. 30 army supply and pushing into the natural. Classic does not have anywhere near what he needs to deal with this as these probes keep on wandering through. Trying to deal with this. I mean, this is just seeming truly disastrous. I want to be excited for Classic. Like, I really do, but I'm truly yet to see, like, games from Classic on this patch that actually have me excited to watch Classic games. Like, I hate to say that because that sounds really brutal and, like, but it's just, like, it's just true. Like, the guy just keeps dying to this, that, and whatever, you know? I don't know. I'm not, it's just rough. I want Classic to take a game or two, you know? Give me some belief back right now, you know? Give me some belief back. Think he lost motivation? I think there's a very good chance Classic might truly believe where he's just like, they can't possibly leave Protoss in this state. So I refuse to care. Like, every time I've seen him play lately, he's been, as soon as he loses, he logs off and he starts playing Brood War. Like, insta-logs. It's not a good sign, man. He switched to Brood War. Yeah, I know it. You can tell based on when he loses in cups at the moment. No, I mean, it's kind of crazy. Dude was a top 5 player pre-patch, and now he doesn't even want to play the game. It's actually pretty wild. It's actually pretty wild. Clem in the bottom right, up 2-0. Classic in the upper left. Probably Protoss. As you get this ready to go. As Navy heads up to the top, Rex and the gas coming through. Engineering Bay comes down on the natural. Gonna block that up. Clem mixing it in this series. So that boat drops into the main. Again, just gonna have ourselves the Engineering Bay blocking. Is gonna be spotted by Classic here. Taking your third as your natural is really bad on this patch. Because obviously if you're looking to play with gateway units and gateway production, by taking your third location, it's really difficult because, you know, in the past you could warp into that location a lot of the time, right? That's just not going to be true here. You're not going to be able to warp into this position. So if you're not able to warp into this position, it's not great. I don't really love that for Classic, because it feels like that's going to just amplify the issues which he's already been having. There's a bow against CC reactor coming through. Just going to have our Nexus, the probe, and the Stalker coming up as well. If it shows up, just gonna be able to grab that probe. Just gonna see the Reaper into the main, just gonna hit a couple more shots. It's gonna be a second probe going down, still gonna hit this Reaper once more. We're gonna get very low. Pulling out over to the sides. Chrono boosting coming down again. That Twilight count's coming about. The charge is going to start. We have that warp gate finishing very, very soon. Focus can hit that orbital as you get pushed over into the main. So yeah, I just during the discussion on the Twitch chat and stuff, when the patch first hit, Protoss players were actually saying PvT was really good for them. And when Protoss players were, if Protoss players are saying PvT felt good, like, you really know then the matchup was probably pretty good. I think the general consensus was that Protoss actually got buffed in Protoss versus Terran. Because the Terran eco was horrible, it did not work well at all. And the Protoss late game got a bit better, while the Terran late game was very meh. In comparison, like, the Terran late game got nerfed a little bit, basically. But since the 300cc patch, this consensus has completely gone out the window. So yeah, I would say it's been pretty... I think it's pretty fair to say that it's been a pretty hefty nerf on the Protoss side, because they have definitely gone downhill since that, basically. They have definitely been going downhill. It's going to be seeing this medevac going to boost over. Widowmine's going to get in. Widowmine. Going to get after a couple of probes. 3 workers for 2 mines, and then 4 workers for 3 mines. Always a good deal. Stalkers will get there. Siege tank, couple extra marines still popping out. The engineering bay is going to be done in a second. Stim pack going through as well. Ghost 2 supplies also huge. Yeah, I mean, that was part of the reason why it was tough for Terran, right? Because then ghosts were more expensive, but you need a good amount of ghosts. And yeah, it was bad for Terran at first in TVP, but I think it's got to be extremely hard pressed to argue that it's bad for Terran right now. Like, the numbers disagree. The games we watch day in and day out definitely disagree. Classic actually going to get some aggression going. A few SCVs going down here for Clem to start off with. He's going to get a tank sieging. The Zealots having to hold position and not walk further into this. But with the tank here, there should be a defense now. A couple of probes go down on the other side of the map again. Classic doing all of this off of 2 bases while now finally getting Blink. So it's going to be kind of a later Twilight and just upgrade for him. With the charge having coming first. Sorry. Later Blink upgrade for him, not Twilight upgrade. Because obviously he already has charge. So because charge came in first, Blink is going to be a little bit later. That's fine because you have the power of charge. Classic's now going to try and take the gold base in the bottom left-hand corner. So he's going to try and move over there instead. Bit of a different approach. Mine going to hit the probe. +1 combat shield continue to come in. The couple of widow mines will be producing through. Medevacs continue to build. Next is going to be finishing on that gold in a few moments. Set that up. Medevac loads, couple tanks inside. Prism going to come across. Stalkers and the Zealot coming over as well. Just going to be seeing a couple probes going down the bottom left-hand corner. Stalkers hop into the main base. The Auto Turret's going to get to work. A couple of Zealots going to start chasing through. Marauder taking some shots. 6 workers continue to come around that reactor. Going to fall. So Classic Stalkers will do a little bit of work here, but Clem has an army moving to the bottom left corner. I do not think that this third base gold has got long left in this game. I think it's going to die very quickly, as a couple of zealots are not going to be enough to defend this. We just lost a prism as well, another dagger in the heart for Classic, honestly, as this game is slipping away from him second by second right now, plain and simple. He's going to grab a siege tank at the front, which is nice. He has to step away with the blink, though, because of the Widow Mines. We scan for the Observer. The Raven might go down. Don't think Clem really cares if the Raven goes down. His supply is, again, phenomenal. Up in workers is always a good sign for TVP. He's obviously knocked down the third base. So Classic is a two-base Protoss in a situation which just feels very difficult to do much in, honestly. Fire comes across, a couple more Stalkers get caught. I'm just going to see these Medevac's going to have to load up and once again try and back it up initially. Those two armors still coming into place. The Bio pulling back. Those Widow Mines burrow, and a few more Zealots just going to get absolutely obliterated. Clem, the Magician, making Zealots disappear by the second with those Widow Mines. Yeah, that was an honestly brutal best of 5. Like I say, it's really hard to judge because from the, like, if you just look within the game, it looks completely busted, right? But then if you look from, like, the extra knowledge, like, do we even know how busted it is, or are Protoss players even trying? Like, because, like, Classic is, I feel like Classic is just does not want to play at the moment, you know, like. It's brutal. Instantly logs out. He's just gone. Hot take, that might be the better player from Classic. I mean, he might be. But this looked like a lot different than just being the better player. This was an absolute stomp. I don't know. I just think, I just, yeah. There's not really much else to say without kind of being nigh on balance whining, really. Just gonna wait for a patch. It's just sad to see people. It's sad to see the core players in our community just not wanting to play the game. You know, like you have to really love SC2 to have gotten this far into SC2's life and still be playing it at a pro level, right? So the fact that people can be like that invested and just right now not want to play, it's kind of sad, no? I mean, you guys saw Zaun play against Percival. That was also just a complete another. Yeah, there's only so much you can really say about it anymore, man. Hope they revert the workers back. What, and just break the economy again? The thing is, you can't turn the workers back and keep all the other changes, because 90% of the changes are based on the economy changes. This is the problem with changing the work account. You know when people said we can just turn it back? If it's like, there was a bunch of people who said, well, hey, well, if it's no good, just turn it back, you know? We can just turn it... You can't just turn it back. You have to fully revert pretty much everything you've done, because you're completely nuking anything you've like I say, most of the changes since the worker change have been based on the fact the worker count changed. And honestly, to me, in my eyes, for the better, because actually 8 worker start doesn't even feel like 8 worker start anymore because we sped up so much of the rest of the game that we're kind of back on pace with 12 worker start. So I actually love that. You know, I was a big hater for the 8 worker start. It doesn't feel so bad now because we sped it back up to be as fast as a 12 worker start now, so whatever. That doesn't matter. But like, all this time and effort we put into changing the game, and overall we've gotten what? Like, in terms of actual change, you hadn't changed the pace of the game. You know, the pace of the game is just as basically what it was before. It hasn't stopped people mass expanding. We've got a turtly version of the game right now, where turtling is the absolute best way to play. It sucks. It's a horrific meta. Can just do a full revert? There's no way we do a full revert. Like, there's no way they actually just fully revert. I just can't believe they do it. At least something's happening. We have something new to talk about. Yeah, and in a month we'll have half the player base again, so we can talk about even less different things. It's messed up, I think. It is pretty messed up. Like, the damage is already done. You've actually got people quitting. Like, people don't revert easily. It's not like everyone's gonna magically just be like, oh, we're back, let's just resume. Like, you already made people quit. It's just stupid, Cat, I'm sorry. The state of the scene is actually, like, I've had pro players message me the last few days, you know, asking stuff like, hey, you know, this or that or whatever, and they're like, it's actually, like, a quote I had is like, it's sad, I actually feel like the game is dying. And I've heard this from multiple different players. Like, the high-end scene actually feels like the game is dying. This is not just random Redditors who are like, ah, dead game, haha. Like, the entire community feels like the game is dying. Like, actually falling off. It might sound dramatic, but that's where we're at. It's insane. Crazy. Crazy that they could actually patch the game into... A patch could actually hurt the game so much. It's actually crazy. Very sad. But we will make the most of it. I said we were going to try and be positive on stream. It's hard not to talk about. I know some people hate me right now because they think all I do is complain and this and that, but like, it's hard not to talk about. Like, I'm only trying to share what I'm hearing and seeing from the people who, like I say, take part and, you know, participate in this game day in and day out. And it's very hard not to talk about when that is just how it's going, you know? Ay. Prior to the 8 worker start, it was slowly dying. I mean, I think dying is a very harsh word to use, though. Was the game maybe a little bit less popular? Yes. But you know what was still very potent in the game is that a lot of people actually had hope we might get picked up by EWC again next year or something, right? The thought of that now is completely out the window because the state of the game is worse than it's been in a long-ass time. So, no, the game was not really dying. It might have been declining, but it wasn't dying. Those are two very different things. And, yeah. I mean, talking about 8 worker start, it's not even about the 8 worker start anymore. It's the state of the game. It doesn't matter how many workers we start with. It's about the state of the game. And the state of the game is that the game is not in a healthy place. The gameplay is bad. It's one of the worst metas we've seen in a long time. People don't want to play it. One of the races seems completely unviable. Like... like, there's like... it's just rough. Like, you were already dealing with the fact that we have less tournaments than ever before, but at least we could kind of get by because, you know, the community was holding strong and the game was good. And people don't, the top end players don't feel like that is the case anymore. Which is obviously problematic. So yeah, it's rough. It is rough. Don't know about unviable. Yeah, maybe I'm being dramatic about the pro state of things, but yeah. Is SCT dying? You recently been looking at who retired and actually found that no one retired, but many players came back. Who came back? Please list a group of, please give me a list of players that came back. The thing is, people don't have to retire. They can just stop playing the game as well. You don't have to make some big thing saying you're retiring to then not be playing the game. Like, we have high-end players who want to make content that can't make content because the ladder is dead. And this is also not just because of the patch, but because there's so many hackers on the ladder that you legitimately can't play the game. And you can't match into anybody because everyone else is quick because the ladder's in such a bad state. Like, there's so many reasons it's gone bad, man. It's crazy. And it's sad. Alright, TVT. Let's get this on the way as we have grand finals. Is it best of 5? I think it's best of 5. I didn't check if it was best of 5 or best of 7, guys. I think it's best of 5, yes. Sorry, I didn't look at the videos. I was yapping on with you guys. Stop, we're going to swap over. Just going to jump onto the reactor. Barracks going to go on the tech lab. Couple more barracks coming up. Now, Hellion's going to be settled in the center. I was wondering, I do wonder if we maybe see a game of mech in this TVT. Best of 5. Just mix some mech in. Might be fun. Let's just have our Hellions in the Cyclone gathering. Just going to push through. Going to get that Reaper grab initially. Yo, Patty Star, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. I think Percival wins this series. I think there's a great shot for Percival to win this series and to win a tournament. This is absolutely doable. Clem is a beast, and Clem is very good at TVT, even if he hasn't played TVT officially for a long time. He has traded a lot of series with Cure lately. But then Percival, you saw how well he played against Cure. If you can play like that against Cure, I absolutely believe you can play well against Clem as well. And see how this series goes as the Cyclone and a couple of Hellions there show up to try and put some damage in. A couple of Vikings will just shoot. That Raven gets pushed away. Hellions is going to shoot over the command. It's going to take a few hits. The Marines gathering. Stim pack 1-1 upgrades coming about. Just going to be seeing the Vikings and the Raven going to gather. The stim going to be done in a few seconds. Vikings are going to get rid of that Raven. So that Raven falls. Tank is going to siege. Hellions and Marines are still pushing up. A couple of medevacs loading, going to pull over to the side. We scan once again. There's Orbital on the third bases, taking some serious damage. Cyclone is locked and gets rid of a Viking. And Vec gets pushed back again. A couple more shots coming through. Tanks. And siege on the front. Just going to be seeing those couple of Vikings trying to get the medevacs. SCVs will pull in the Marines. Going to get cleaned out here. And they're going to get shut down. Well, supply is going to be interesting after this fight, I guess. It's got 1-1. Pushes in. Lost a chunk of SCVs, but it's enough to break out of this position. He's going to be down a bit of army supply, but otherwise looking good. And with the upgrade lead, maybe take some map control back, and maybe can take some good trades here. That upgrade lead is not just going to be 1-1. He's starting +2 upgrades now as well. So he'll have an upgrade lead for the next minute, and then in a couple of minutes' time, he'll have a +2 lead for a significant amount of time as well. Marines will stream from the main through to the low ground. Marines step up for a couple of moments. Again, got those 2-2 upgrades a little bit ahead then, so again, gonna have, what, a minute and a half-ish lead on the 2-2. Minute and a half might be a bit too extreme, especially because +2 armor is not fast. Okay, the +2 armor is probably like 45 seconds ahead, maybe about a minute-ish, a bit less than a minute on the +2 attack. Can still create some opportunities for Clem though, as Percival has boomed all the way up to 80 workers right now, so has a good economy, 77 to 77 army supply. Percival taking this chance to just drop extra CCs into play. Already on that 4 base, looking to get his 5th base running. That's something that Clem doesn't have. Clem's 4th is still just building, so he's a little bit behind getting to the 4th. So just again, in general, you know, in the economy stance of this game, it is Percival that is currently sitting in the lead. And it's coming from either side. As Medivacs lift off, just going to pull away. The Marines are still stepping forward. The Vikings, the tanks, the rest of this continues to come through. A couple of tanks already going to siege up to the top side as the Medivacs on the right to move down as well. And it's going to take some shots. The other tanks will siege up. The Medivacs trying to get into the main are going to get deflected, by the way. So Clem's attack gets pushed back over here. The Vikings playing the defense. And Percival still in position aggressively with the Raven in his favor. Oh, Clem gets a big stim in. Too many tanks moving forward at once, perhaps. And Percival is super late to stim his own Marines. Oh, that was a bad fight for Percival, simply because if these Marines had just stepped forward and actually been part of this for a bit longer, it would have helped out massively. This is also the +2 attack upgrade timing for Clem, so he had +2 over the 1-1. Didn't have +2 armor, but had +2 attack at least, so it was a bit better for him there as well. However, he also gave up 20 SCVs to preserve units, so he now falls even further behind on the economy. Marines is going to get grabbed. Command center goes down. 2-2 upgrades. The +1 vehicle weapon still producing. Now we've seen Percival back up through the top. Okay, stun. These Marines taking damage. Medevac's pulling away. Percival's going to have a lot of units here. Will break onto the tank. There's another tank available. Might want to lift in as a planetary to the right-hand side. Single Marine getting after that SCV. Still seeing a lot of these other units moving down the bottom. So Siege, Bio looking to spread. Missile turret's already taking some hits. Marines will just stem up. Just going to see that one Viking going down already. Again, the 3-3 is on its way from Clem. Very far along, halfway done. That's one way in which Percival is definitely going to struggle. And Percival's army supply is down now. Clem has rebuilt his economy that he lost previously as well. Step over to the right. A few of these units going to be in good position to threaten the Liberators that just showed up. However, he's also getting a little surrounded. Right now, the upgrades are even as well, so if you can find equal numbers, Percival might like the fight to jump on that. However, Clem also moves the army to the left-hand side. In doing that, he's going to be able to, by pulling this army down the left-hand side, he's going to be able to kind of force Percival to react to that, and Percival can't fully focus on attacking the army that was on the right side instead. A little bit of a split move over there. I'm just going to have the other Marines coming up. Tank's going to unsiege, re-siege. Don't know why they unsiege, to be fair. I thought they were going to reposition, but maybe he thought he had longer than he did before these units started to approach. Now Clem makes this a pincer move onto the left. He takes a bit of damage from the units from the right side. The Marines from Percival, that's a bad choice. These Marines of Percival should have focused on these tanks, because the fact these tanks are still dealing damage is disastrous. These Marines here had the perfect opportunity to at least get rid of the tank siege from Clem there, and then maybe you can chase further over here. But I think better off would have just been retreating down here, jump on this, retreat over here. I think would have been a much better move from Percival compared to this, where these Marines ran through all this tank fire to fight a position that they were still overwhelmed in. And Percival's army supply is not taking any turns in the right direction, unfortunately. Now he's down the upgrades as well, so this is the next minute and a half And the last minute and a half, while Clem will have an upgrade lead in this game, but with the advantage he already has, it's probably just going to be enough to see him through to the end, as every single tank is getting targeted. The Marines are going to be falling. And that is going to be a couple more Marines going about. Orbital going to land down. Just going to have the command center will drop into place. Bunch of Marines down the right side here from Clem, just going to be a moving. Missile turret's going to set up as well. It's going to have the Ravens and Marines and the tanks continue to produce on into place. The vehicle plating is coming up. The Neil Steel armor is coming online as well. Army down the right side. Clem is maxed here. Gonna start moving. Again, CC just gonna lift and pull over to the side. The Ravens will gather. A couple of tanks will step through. Big stim. As we drop a couple matrices down as well. Missile turrets gonna be taking some damage. The tanks are gonna be firing. Clem's kind of a tank war at the end, but Clem just has more. And while Percival drops not too far in supply, it still is a heavy deficit. And the bigger question is just how much is Percival going to lose in the next couple of moments? And don't forget as well that Clem is also taking great economy behind this. Unlike in the games of Cure versus Percival, unlike the Cure versus Percival games, Clem has got the eco and army lead and positional lead. The only thing that's really going for Percival is the air control. He has the Raven advantage, which is nice, but he's going to have to start using it soon to actually start breaking out. Otherwise, he is going to be in some trouble. Tanks on siege pulling back again. A couple libs still coming through. Marines still coming up. Ship weapons is starting. Clem now repositioning back around the left-hand side. It's going to be seeing the tanks will siege. Clem really pushing himself into a very dangerous spot here. If we can't stop this happening as Percival. The tanks gather up, actually going to drop a matrix down. One of those tanks going to get caught. He's still fighting. Minus 16 SCVs again. Clem just doing good economic damage through and through. We're just going to gather these tanks, going to reposition again. That one liberator caught in the matrix at the moment. As Clem still just again taking every advantage, I think, plausible right now. More liberators are just going to get themselves sieged. At least Percival again is making some use of this air control, which he kind of needed to. Without the air control, he'd be super doomed. So at least, like I say, we've got something going here. Percival at least holding on. He knows if he just defends, usually there's opportunities that arise in the world of TVT. Is it too many ravens? Too many ravens is, You can never really have too many ravens, because with ravens you can interference matrix and auto turret and anti-armor missile. Like, there's just so much spell casting. And being able to rematrix very quickly and stuff is very powerful too, so yeah, typically speaking, it's hard to have too many ravens. Let's see our scans coming out. A couple of tanks are going to sit sieging for a few moments. Massive amount of units from Clem. Bank is not super high for Clem. He's going to get a few shots on the Ravens ahead of time there. No anti-arm missile going in from Clem. Matrix is going down. The auto turret's dropped defensively from Percival. He's not really been able to capitalize on all of those matrices which he hit. So Clem having his own Ravens as a response is very, very strong. It's going to gather Ravens as well. Just going to be seeing the Vikings, the tanks still coming through. Add a Thor and a couple of Vikings and a ship weapon into play. That's what Clem is working on at the moment. I think the Thor just something to help you kind of fight against some of this air control. It is still better numbers in disguise for Percival. Clem drops a few of his own order turrets to fight back here this time around. Scans going into plays again. Raven, the Vikings continue to come through, bring a lot of that into play at the moment. Just going to have ourselves this army going to find itself in a fight once again. Auto turrets come down pretty quickly from Percival, now spamming them. Missile turrets doing work onto Clem's Raven count though, and I don't think Clem has the Viking advantage here either. Masses of matrixes from Percival as he tries to slow this down. Does Clem have enough Vikings to keep being aggressive? Apparently so. And now at least he seems to be doing okay. He is going to get the tanks out of Matrix to help still fire through on the ground. Has the scan to hit a few more shots. Percival has put some pressure on. Similar position on the reverse side of the map. Is in reach of the planetary for a moment or two. He's gathering. We will settle for a moment as Percival pushes his way into position on the right-hand side. He's done a great job, an immaculate job, really, of not dying in this game. Resource loss is extremely close as well. Hammer has had every base possible, whereas Percival has obviously been slowed a little with some of the aggression. But if you can deny a base here right now and maybe move elsewhere after, I mean, one of the big winners for Percival has absolutely been the air control, although now Clem actually has more air control, a few more Ravens in the sky for Clem than there is on Percival's side. Big fight, the Vikings going straight through. Clem's numbers are looking great, oh my goodness. Well, there you go, now plus 14 Vikings on the side of Clem, so there's the air control to him. Percival. You know, you talk about like economy advantage and like army advantage, whatever, like air advantage is such a big thing in TVT. Like, just the prospect of what Ravens can do for you, what Vikings, obviously, you slip in a couple libs if you have that control as well. It's actually pretty crazy, the power that air control has. Like, it's a whole resource in itself in this matchup. Clem crushing. I don't think Percival has enough to hang on. He's actually got very close, because to be fair, it's not like Clem has a lot of money in the bank either. If Percival had won this fight, then Clem might have been the one in some trouble. Clem starts the Liberators, and like I say, once you have this amount of air control and you can build Liberators, it feels like it's only a matter of time because you're just going to be able to slip on forward and get so much done. Well, tanks will fire it up. Clem in position once again. Percival having to spend some time here re-establishing his eco. Liberators are nicely sieged. Like I said, the air control just feels so difficult. It's one of the things that pulled Percival back, but now that it belongs to Clem with the advantage already. I think Bjorn is like one of the few players who I've truly seen fight against like an air controlling Terran from a deficit and do okay. It's just extremely tough. Like it's so hard to actually make happen. It's so hard to actually make happen. Obviously starting to lose this forward base. Percival's economy is going to become more and more problematic. How many 30-minute TVTs are we going to cast today, guys? We obviously casted a bunch in the earlier series. How many more? Vikings, Ravens still gather. Another anti-armor missile strikes down onto a few Marines already. Good push up on the other side from Percival, so he's going to come moving straight through. I mean, he's going to get a bit of a stim in. Clem going to be forced to play the defense. Like, I mean, this is what you can do a little bit with the Marine count. You know, you have a little bit more mobility, and so you can actually kind of force a couple of positions. Problem is, long term, is you don't win these fights, because the moment you actually come up against tank opposition, it's nigh on impossible for you to really push in. And as soon as the Ravens show up, you kind of get pushed back with the anti-armor missiles as well. The Thor's aura farming. I guess you could call that aura farming. Okay. Yeah, you guys are like, man, why did Wardy go quiet? It's like, it's so I don't say stupid shit like this, you know? Ravens, Vikings, Marines. As Clem is, again, put himself in a good spot. Percival's supply is there, but he's got 91 Marines to 23. Now, in a lot of matchups, that would be really good, but the reality here is that he's just got a lot more of what are truly lesser units, but he gets a good flank on the Ravens, and a lot of Clem's tanks are going to be taken out of the equation. What? Oh. Well. That's the kind of fight you need as Percival. The problem is you need many of these fights, and Clem obviously has the ability to back away and give himself some space as well. So that is the issue overall. That is the issue overall. Army going to be pressing up. Libs, Ravens gathering. The anti-armor missile did dive in a little. Just going to keep pushing through. A couple of these medevacs getting shot at. Can Percival mine for longer? Yeah, I guess so, but Clem's traded more efficiently as well, so Clem probably also has mining still to be had off of these other bases. It's something we can check in on maybe in a little bit. It's hard to really kind of judge from this position, I suppose, as you see those units coming straight through. Clem again winning a fight, the supply just plummeting. At this point, Clem just finds so much efficiency in each and every one of these trades. Medevac's going to load up once again. And the Mulehammer comes down, but that base does not exactly look safe at the moment, considering Clem is right there, somewhat ready to help deal with it. Jeez, Clem is going to win the first game of this series and open this finals up with the 1-0 advantage. After a pretty, like I say, I think a pretty well-fought battle from Percival to bring himself back. Because there was definitely troubling times there for Percival, right? And he actually kept himself in the game. But Clem really took an advantage and made sure to keep that advantage as well, you know? I think that was very well done from him. I mean, like I say, Clem was also not in the greatest spot at times. He was under some dangerous sieges. He actually found really good moments to break out. There's that moment where he actually made a decision. He gave up like 20 workers to break out of the fight right then and there. And that was actually a really big deal because, yes, he lost 20 workers. However, the follow-up to losing the 20 workers was he got map control of the army supply lead, rebuilt the economy with the map control behind him, and bam, that became obviously like a real kind of turning point in the game. It felt like from there, Clem never really lost control. And like obviously Percival fought back. Percival put up a fight. Percival did not just roll over and die. It's gonna count down. Get this ready to rumble. Alright, let's jump into Sanctuary. Get this started up. As we have in the bottom left-hand side, it is going to be the red Terran player. It's going to be Team Liquid's Clan with the 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 series up against Percival in the upper right side. Getting ready to go. Curious as to where we will take this game number 2 here for Percival. He's been playing well. Again, even from rough positions, it's almost it's kind of like Maori, right? Where it's like even when the game started a little bit bad, we actually brought it back pretty well and we're able to kind of get back on track a little. You know, and you know, we're able to survive for quite a while. It's kind of cool. That's what Mario used to do. Even if the opening was bad, he would just bounce it back like it was nobody's business. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Reapers on the way, just gonna see the SCVs and company on the way as well. It'll take a couple of moments. Continue to build this all up. Gonna have to restart the StarCraft the music soon. Get paused if you do not. Let's just have a Reaper. I'm gonna go after the other Reaper, a little bit of back and forth. A few moments. Yeah, fight here. Slow zone makes it awkward. Line of sight blockers too. Both players will end up trading one Reaper in the end. It's not too bad. Yeah, SCV is going to try and chase after that Reaper, which continues after the SCV. SCV goes down. I'm just going to see that Reaper continue to chase. Reaper going to get pushed right in the corner. Clem will clean it up. We've got an SCV too, so both sides getting SCVs because Clem is also doing the same thing. However, his Reaper is still going uncontested, so additional Reaper being built there has made a difference. Starport reactor all coming online. Have our stim back again. The starport coming up for a couple of seconds here. Bring that all about. Again, got a couple of SCVs and the stim coming through. The starport not far from being done. Much faster stim from Percival than it is for Clem. Triple CC up. Clem is going to have a bit of a shove, and it's going to be interesting to see if Percival can find himself the answer to this shove, because it's going to be pretty powerful, to be honest, plain and simple. It's going to be strong. You're going to have a lot of supply, and Percival is not going to have a lot in return, especially having lost a bit early. He's got 2 Marines and a Hellion. If Clem gets both the tank siege, that's brutal. Now, obviously, you're going to have the Raven popping out as well. But Percival's own tank is an absolute millennia away right now. It is a tech lab finished on the factory, and yeah, we got to build a tank ASAP, surely, because the problem with Stim is, like, Stim is a great upgrade, but Stim is not going to save you in this situation. Why? Because you've got no Marines to Stim. You're going to Stim him with 3 Marines. You might have 5 by the time it's done. This is absolutely, yeah, okay. I was going to say, this is absolutely, like, going to have to, at the very least, be an SCV pull, but Percival just says GG. He just does not think he can fight back out of this. And that will be it. Why is Clem so high in supply? Because Percival went triple command center and had a little bit of a worse start with the SCVs chasing the Reaper and trying to play cleanup and stuff. So overall, it was just completely one-sided. Premature GG, not in the slightest. This was absolutely correct by Percival. He was dead. He had a Raven, 4 Marines, and a Hellion, guys. Like, against 2 siege tanks and like 10 Marines and a medevac. Like, it's doomed. Very, very doomed. Game 3, Clem with a 2-0 lead. Man, this was a very long start to the day, and it's speeding up very, very rapidly, to say the least. It is speeding up rapidly. As we get ready to go, go, go. In just a few moments. In the bottom right hand side, our red Terran player. This is going to be reppin' Team Liquid. This is Clem. Up 2 and a map away from victory. Percival in the bottom left. I have to try and fight back here, see if he's going to be able to or not. I say Percival's played well, I mean, that last game was the worst he's had all day. Unfortunately, that puts him down 0-2. The first game of the series was, like I say, very competitive. You just joined us, you missed a bit of a banger of a opening game. Well, the TVTs today have been great, actually. If you're not a TVT fan, then fair enough, but TVTs have been very good. Gonna be double racks versus double racks, but one of them is proxied from Percival, so this is a build order loss from Percival, or build order disadvantage, we should say. Because he's committed to trying to get some damage done. This Reaper's coming up again, Orbital on the way, refineries on production as well. This Reaper's just going to start heading over. Like I say, Clem is not aware of what's going on yet, so this could get awkward if his Reaper's out of position. Because there is still the Reaper here that's kind of proxied and will kind of show up from an odd spot and so, right? So I'll definitely make this interesting. Couple Reapers coming up, getting by. He's going to have the couple of Reapers going back around the other direction as well. Some work in. Now that we're kind of aware, Clem's minus a Reaper, but does have the defensive aspect to this, as he's actually going to get his extra Reaper up. Break Grenade. Oh my goodness. Well, it's still going to be down on Reaper for a second or two. He's going to make it one-on-one with the SEV fire to help, and that is massive. Clem chases. Kills. Oh, doesn't have enough damage on the corner cutting of his opponent. Goes back to the healing shrine, which is very cute. Got a couple of heals over there. I'm just going to have 2 more Reapers, and that Hellion still building up. Command Center, Starport, all on the way by. Going to see those extra units still popping through for the moment. Brought into play. Reapers and the Hellion continue to come up. At this point, Clem should just be okay. I mean, the issue that Percival has is just the fact that one of his barracks has to float home. It's going to take a bit longer. He's a bit later to the expansion, but he is expanding on locations. So there is an advantage for him, even if he's later. It'll begin to mine a little bit sooner at least. There is a benefit there as the command center comes up on the natural. Get that going. Clem trying to make his factory look a little bit more battered and war-torn. Bit of an awkward fight. Clem going down his ramp and getting kind of punished for it, losing out on a lot of his early units. He does have the medevac with the siege tank that will try and chase, should at least be able to kill the Hellion there. Does manage to get that. See the couple Reapers and that Hellion both going through, so continue to bring that into play just for a second or so as well. Again, Raven, Marine continue to be added on. Just go to the healing, trying to get re-healed. Yeah, Percival in the end has not been too badly done to in this scenario, I guess. Unit count's going to be pretty similar. Obviously, 2 tanks against no tanks is interesting, but you do have Cyclones. Cyclones would like to threaten the medevac. Viking shows up, so these tanks are going to get abandoned. So Clem trying to get funky with the tank job. He's going to get both the Cyclones. Will try and make do with whatever he can, get as much as possible here. Again, interference matrix coming up as well at the moment. Just seeing the Raven, the Marines also continue to gather around. Percival try and take advantage of this situation and stay aggressive. Tank sieges, Ravens nearby, settling for a moment. Gonna see the Marine hit the Viking, doing some damage. Well, Percival has the siege to try and apply some pressure here. World turret's coming down as Clem is going to try and break through out of this siege though, and from the top side looking good. And those tanks are going to have to go running right now, trying to get the heck away from this position. You get to the healing shrine, however, we're going to siege the tanks and reach the healing shrine, so you can't sit in there any longer. Back 1-1, both on the way through. Just going to see that combat shield coming up as well, though. On the side of Percival, so he's going to get 2 upgrades at once, where Clem's just getting the single upgrade. He'll have a little bit of an edge on the combat shield timing. Percival trying to come forward once more, again, looking to shove on in at this point. Matrix goes down on either side. Clem has a lot of units missing from the fight. He's starting to set up the siege a bit further back, but I'm worried he doesn't have enough Marines to actually hold on here. He's going to load his Marines and go down to the bottom side. Oh, he's just going to go drop. Interesting. Clem unsieges these tanks after kind of baiting Percival to slow move and siege. And yeah, he gets the setup to flank from the bottom side. Interesting. Let's see if Clem's move pays off. As he is moving forward now, seeing the tanks on siege, going to go for the opportunity. In he goes, Ravens going down, tanks going down, and Percival gets caught completely off guard, thinking Clem was purely focused on the upper right, and boy, could he not have been more wrong. Dropping Percival into the main of Clem is not doing a lot, as Clem has continued forward, no combat shield yet. Makes it a bit tougher for these Marines, and Clem may have gone a little bit too soon, too hard over to the other side of the map. We'll have to unsiege the tanks against those, couple of Marines that were dropping on top of them. Plus 2 attack is building. Combat shield is about to finish. 2 armor on the way as well. A few extra Marines coming up. CC on its way through. Marine's going to run in. The SCV is going to pull in to try and fight against those as well. And he's seen a few workers going down. No, Clem has a lot of units on the bottom of the map, by the way. He is boosting through. He's going to get past the Vikings. We'll see this building command send a few Marines looking to greet him. He's going to stop shy of the mark and unload here so he can get a siege in toward the main base. He will probably kill this brand new command center. They all good position with this base, as you can kind of see right now, is that it's not really well positioned to give you a chance to escape, right? Like, it is tucked into a corner, and you have a worker pathway that workers can escape on, but not so much in terms of bringing units into or out of this position. It also means that Clem's outward path here is very one-dimensional, which also could be seen as a little bit awkward overall. Let's see what happens. There's 15 SCVs for Percival. Big supply lockdown because of that. I'm still getting damage done here. These Marines kind of running a bit too close to those siege tanks and taking a bunch of damage because of it. Tanks continue to work. The missile turret's taking damage at the same time. Now Clem's on the top side. Fourth base to the top attempt is going to be denied. That Liberator disappears. Tanks will get a good few shots off onto these Marines. Clem will just stim in, target the tank before it gets a chance to shoot. It's not even close. He also has an upgrade lead of a +2 attack. GG, Clem 3-0. Too good in the TVT today. Which is kind of wild because, obviously, yeah, I mean, we expect, we just saw Percival 3-0 cure earlier, playing great. See, this is the kind of TVT, though, where Clem gets to really show what Clem is all about, right? Repositioning, dropping himself into a better position, flanking, just being able to make cool moves. So often in TVT, that's kind of what's missing for you. Like, that's something that you can't do because it's so much about, oh, defense, and you can't really move out, and all this and that. In this case, he was able to sit there, put out damage, and just really maneuver around the map extremely effectively. Plain and simple. GG's. GG's. That's going to be it for us today, guys. That is going to be it for us today. I hope you've all had a good time. And yeah, nice timing. You just joined. Good timing, man. What I can recommend is showing up when the stream is still going. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, that's kind of it for me today. I don't really have much else to add for you guys, unfortunately. I don't have much else for you guys to see. So tomorrow we're going to be on the INus Cup, the INus Soup Cup. So you guys can join me for that. On Saturday, I'm going to take the day off. And on Sunday, we'll be doing the OSC King of the Hill into the Zero Space Creator Invitational. So it's going to be a pretty fun weekend. So yeah, I appreciate you all. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Wardy critique the plays and what they should have done instead. Well, Percival should not have let Clem gotten around the bottom of him. I mean, he should have had a Marine in every position so he didn't get overbaited in. You know, a lot of the time when you say what someone should have done instead, it's really, you know, in the case of this game, Clem just played really well and made some really good moves. So the answer is don't let Clem make his really good moves, or be ready to deal with Clem's good moves. But like, that's very boring to say rather than just praising the cool moves that we're seeing, you know? So yeah. GG's, guys. I appreciate you all. I'm going to run some ads on the outro. We have the 24/7 stream we host up. Obviously, like and subscribe if you do not already on the YouTube. Hit the follow button on the Twitch channel. And thank you so much for the love today, guys. We had some subs and some gifteds. I greatly appreciate it. Like I say, use your primes, and we will continue to drop you guys over to more StarCraft 2 and continue to run as much StarCraft 2 as we possibly can. Appreciate you all. There'll be a YouTube upload again later today. I didn't get one up yesterday. I had to go out straight away yesterday when we finished because we've had a late day. There'll be a YouTube upload later today too. And yeah. Appreciate you all. Savads, 24/7 stream. The Pigsty Fest qualifier is live right now, by the way, as well. So if you guys want to watch that, Pig stream is live with that. If you want more live StarCraft, I recommend heading over there. But I will obviously be hosting up the 24/7 stream. Unfortunately, it does too well to not rate it. Sucks, but it's just business, sadly. It's just business funding all these StarCraft tournaments. See you guys tomorrow for more StarCraft 2. Bye-bye.